Epistemology, the concept of individual knowledge. Philosophers and researchers have been trying to define and analyze the concept of individual knowledge for centuries. For most people, the difference between personal perception and truth is unclear. This paper includes descriptions of several approaches regarding the nature of knowledge, objectivity, and how it may affect people. It also considers the methods of interacting with reality appropriate for Christians. Philosophers try to understand the origin of environmental and social comprehension, its essence, and the potential practical effect on humans. Entwistle analyses epistemology as a humanitarian field that explains the nature and grounds of knowledge. Bassett considers it the process of searching for the truth. There are three models of connecting human perceptions with reality: naive realist, anti-realist, and critical realist. The first describes a person who believes everything they see or think is completely synchronized with the world. Such a view is typical for children, as they cannot analyze the surroundings from someone else's point of view or abstractly. An anti-realist believes that all people see and feel reality, distorted by social theories. Finally, critical realists hold the middle position, as, according to them, objective reality is somewhat influenced by human biases. Most people choose one of the mentioned models unconsciously and do not change their views easily. My position supports the critical realism model, as I choose to believe that absolute objectivity does not exist in human society, but the general truth could be acquired through observation and analysis. Such a view is comfortable for me as I can study my environment and make conclusions, but other people have the right to their opinions and beliefs. In the critical realism model, people with various world perceptions can coexist peacefully as long as they respect each other and their environment. Different methods of knowing include logic, empiricism, revelation/interpretation, and hermeneutics. The first one states that people can separate the belief from the truth by analyzing the rational consistency of human reasoning. It could be done through deductive arguments, using premises, inferences, and conclusions, or inductive logic requiring generalizations. This method is limited by its reliance on one's senses, which could be erroneous. Empiricism analyzes experiences to evaluate claims. People who follow this method of knowing to check the incoming information sources to form their opinion. Its limitations contain the possible irrelevance or invalidity of the chosen events or documents. Revelation and interpretation focus on observing the signs and events and deciding what they mean. However, one can use one's imagination to twist the meaning of the phrases or events for one's benefit. The last method, hermeneutics, assumes that careless freestyle conclusions may lead to a misunderstanding of the source or event. The unclear difference between the correct and false findings of the observer limits it. For Christians, the revelation/interpretation and hermeneutic methods of knowing seem to be fitting. The former supports the idea that human understanding of the world is fallible, but God reveals himself and his guidelines for the people. Romans 1 verse 20 says that God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly seen. Sermons, Sunday schools, and Bible studies aim to help Christians understand their purpose by interpreting his word. Hermeneutics warns the people against the mistakes they could make when attempting to understand the Bible. 2 Timothy 3 verse 8 claims that scriptures are God-given and are trustworthy, but careless interpretation may lead to misapplication of the biblical instructions. The combination of revelation/interpretation and hermeneutics methods would be most beneficial for the Christians. To conclude, philosophers organized the knowledge models into naive, anti- and critical realism categories. People choose their preferred methods of knowing from logic, empiricism, revelation/interpretation, and hermeneutics. The last two seem most appropriate for Christians as they allow following the Bible and God's Word after analyzing this book. While theologists and religious leaders worldwide attempt to explain the meaning of the Scriptures, they make mistakes like any human.